Live and good evening. Jeffrey Paul, we're from the Hair Loss University and the founder of Wigs for Kids. If this is your first time with us, I hope that you're ready to get some enjoyment out of questions and answers that many of our previous listeners and many of our alumni have asked. And we kind of take this time and really just use it to dialogue, to take 35, 40 years of experience and try to melt down some of the questions that are obviously in everybody's mind. How do I grow? Now, here it is. How do I grow my practice? How do I grow my hair loss and hair thinning practice? That's really important because that's what we're going to be talking about. We've got two incredible questions. I think that you're going to relate to Angelina and Noel's two questions. They're from the Hair Loss Professionals, one of the groups that private face group that I'm a part of. And it's just really a blessing when people are just really honest and ask a question. Too often, and I'm just going to pair off to the right just for a moment, if you just kind of give me that little bit of allowance. The reality of asking a question shows the greatest amount of intelligence. Many of the intellects say. Why? Because when somebody's willing to expose themselves and ask a question that they're struggling with, keeps them up at night, is difficult to even talk about with other people that may not know what you're talking about or what you're relating to, it's really important that you open yourself up and ask that question. And Angelina, thank you. And Noel, thank you for your questions that we're going to talk about tonight, because those are the kind of people that grow in our industry, any industry, but especially the hair thinning and hair loss. You see, we come from a style background, stylists of all types. Some of you may have come in through beauty, from barber. Some of you may have been in the hair replacement industry, trichology. But the reality is that you are truly a knowledgeable group of people beyond your licensing. You have a sense of people's inner hurt, their self-esteem that has been broken, their devastation emotionally, self-esteem, beauty inside and out, because of the hair loss that they're experiencing or the hair thinning. And because you've chosen to be or are thinking about being in this career, you're very special people. I've been doing this for 40 years and I have just loved every minute of it. Not only have I been able to build a wonderful practice of 7 figures, but also the relationship of founding the Wigs for Kids organization, a nonprofit organization for children all over the United States, receiving free, beautiful wigs that are handmade and given to them completely free by ponytails that have been donated and donors that have donated a dollar to be able to make it happen. And on top of that, we give them all the products and all the things that they need. I'm going to tell you more about Wigs for Kids. But here's what I want you to know about tonight. If you're here tonight and you're listening, if you have any interest of being the first to know, have you ever been wanting to be the first to know? You want to be the first to know of what we're going to be launching in the next series of weeks that is going to truly change the entire landscape of the hair thinning and loss beauty industry? I want you to put a comment, emoji, something in the comments tonight. And if you do that, you'll be on the list that will be first sent the information of what's coming. And I know you will be excited about it. You will be just so excited about it. But let's get down into the questions and answers tonight about why we're here. The question and answers that we have are based on, first of all, Angelina. Angelina asked, marketing to the right people. How do I find the right people? Angelina, what a perfect question. You know why it's a perfect question? Because if you'd have asked it 2 or 3 years ago, the answer would be different. And if you would have asked it a year ago, it would have been different. But today, in the studies that we have brought forth through assessments and surveys and development with psychologists, who is the ideal candidate? Who is the age bracket? Who is the financial bracket? Who is the right audience to market to? And that has changed dramatically. Let me give you an example. Most people would say that people that have hair loss are 40 and above, and anybody 40 and below probably doesn't have, problems with hair thinning and hair loss. Not true. Recently, over the last 24 months, we have seen an influx of 20 and 30-year-olds with dramatic hair thinning and hair loss, hair breakage. We have seen young people that should be experiencing life and enjoying life at its highest, college students, young professionals, absolutely paralyzed by the hair loss that they're experiencing and the impact that it's having in their lives. So what used to be 40 and above, and prior to that was 50 and above in age, now has dropped down even into the 20s and 30s. Yes. Now that broadens the spectrum of the marketing scope that you have to have. But let's talk about age. That age level has a complete different personality. They have a different way of viewing Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Their platforms of interest, YouTube, is completely different to each other. So how do you gather and market these people? I'm going to share that answer with you today. So definitely put a comment in the comments so that you really hear more about what I'm going to share and what we're going to be rolling out in 2023. By the way, Happy New Year. Happy New Year and the best blessed double portion year ever for you and your business and your family and your life. But listen, marketing to a broad spectrum is not the best marketing strategy. Target marketing is always that. So, Angelina, here is a tip. Here's a gold nugget. Whatever platform you do best on, start to promote a women's or a hair thinning and hair loss summit, or a discussion group, or something that will get no longer the age bracketing, no longer the stigma of I'm not on Facebook, or I'm not on Instagram, or I'm not on TikTok, or make your platform and let them be drawn to it. And I'll share more about that in just a minute. But I want you to know that what you have to offer this broad market spectrum is one thing: solutions to their hair thinning and loss. That's why we have a TV program called Hair Loss Solutions TV, where we do interviews with women who've done makeovers, children from Wigs for Kids that we've done makeovers, men that have gone through the transition, and we allow that platform of educating the consumer about the solutions that are available, whether it's trichology, whether it's thin hair styling, whether it's hair replacement, whether it's medical wigs, whatever it may be, extensions, whatever it might be. We continue to educate the audience. And because the audience is a broad spectrum, but have the same need, the same pain, the same issue that they're looking for a solution, you become the solution that they seek out. Now, there's a lot more to this, Angelina, and I'm going to share more with you. But in turn, over the weeks to come, we have a number of programs that we're going to provide for free on how to really market yourself to the right audience. That's why when I saw your question pop up in the comments, I was so excited because it was like absolutely the right on question. The relationship of marketing to the right people. But who's the right people? We said It's a much broader spectrum of age, from 20 to 60 or 70 years old. That's just a complete, that's a quandary for the marketing industry. And the platforms are all different. So better than chase all the platforms, you simply create your best delivery on your best platform. And then here's the next step: repurpose it on all the other platforms. So go live or record your education to the consumer, to the woman, to the child, to the man that has hair thinning and hair loss. Give them tips, give them understanding of what is in the research of today's trichology and hair replacement and integration systems and safe extensions and all the things that are available, and maybe how to take care of their hair thinning and hair loss or their hair piece. And as you do that and you build upon that platform, your platform, you will draw the audience to you. It is a reverse in marketing. We were always taught in marketing 101 to go to the platform that our audience was on, but we're not living in the same world we were living 24 or 12 months ago. It's a different world. And if you begin to set your authority, you get your voice out there by giving them what they are looking for, the solutions, the knowledge, the understanding, they're going to be drawn to you for their decision. Angelina, I want to hear from you. I want to be sure that at least begins the answer, and we will continue through the Hair Loss University and what we have planned for 2023. That's why I've asked you all to put a comment in the comments, because in those comments will be the absolute issue of what will be the first to know. Those people will be the first to know what's coming out in 2023 to help you grow your hair thinning and hair loss business larger, stronger, and more recognized by the public. Now, Noelle, this was a little bit of a frustrating question. Poor Noelle, I could feel her pain when I read this. I just could feel her pain. Noelle said people want to stay, not want to stay consistent with the program. And I think that Noelle was talking about the relationship of probably trichology, probably treatments of taking care of their hair. And you are absolutely right, because it's not an emergency. And there's anything they can put it off because, it doesn't look any worse than yesterday. And like weight, 1 pound adds up to another. And like hair loss, one hair loss after another leaves us with more and more scalp showing, more and more baldness. And so, Noelle, how do you get people to stay in the program? It's absolutely by selling programs that no matter what, they have to have some pain beyond the initial pain of hair thinning and hair loss and the fear of losing their hair and the emotional distress that they have. They have to have a financial knowledge of obligation. So in your trichology program, set it up for a 3 or 6 or 12-month program. And it's just like when we set programs up for hair replacement or extensions. We put together a program that they put their credit card on file. We write out on a document that allows us to use their credit card every month on an agreed amount. And whether they do or don't use it, it is charged each and every month, just like Netflix. You may not be watching Netflix this week. Probably not. But if you weren't watching Netflix this week, you would probably still know that you're going to get a bill for Netflix at the end of the month. So, Noelle, real important to keep people disciplined for their own best and to help them become compliant to what you diagnose and direct and coach them through. Put them on a financial program. Some of us have actually added and incorporated the products that we send them to them on a regular basis. Even if they don't come in, we send them, just like my vitamins. Every month I get my vitamins, or every month I might get whatever I am on a program, on a subscription relationship. And that's probably what you should call it, a subscription. But the program is built in to provide them the best. Now, this is all done in the consultation, and we've got a whole course on consultation, and I'll be sharing a whole lot more, but it's done in the consultation, where you truly create and set the expectations, set the guidelines, and set the pathway for their success. And giving them examples of other people's success, whether it's in video, right in the consultation room, whether it's in video on one of your sites, on one of your platforms, or having them be able to talk to, and this is really important, have them be able to talk to one of your successful clients that have gone through and are going through the continual compliance of the program, for maybe a benefit to them is a free product, or a free treatment, to be able to be your spokesperson. But once they realize that they're plugged in, and they're plugged in through a 3 or 6 or 12-month program, and it's going to be chargeable no matter what they decide to do or not to do, two things happen. You motivate a lot more people to make the move. And number two, you're financially continuing to grow and look for the people that are wanting to be absolutely disciplined and compliant to get the result and solution that you and I know they're looking for. So this is good business, and it's good marketing. So Angelina and Noel, thank you for your questions. They are precious to me because they are real questions. And you are the wisest of us all because you were willing to ask the question. And that question, I could tell, comes from the frustration of trying your best, trying to help people, trying to transform people. But sometimes they don't want to help themselves. But knowing how to help them, even beyond the treatments, the hair replacement, the extension, the wig, whatever it might be, there's even a greater level of understanding in regards to the relationship of what you can do for them as you help guide them into the pathway of the discipline and the solutions for their hair thinning, hair loss. I hope this has touched everyone who's listening tonight, and I hope that you put a comment or an emoji into the comments so that we know that you want to know more about what we've got in store to help educate you, to continue your education. And if you haven't heard or found Wigs for Kids as a real important part of your hair thinning and hair loss practice or your styling practice, then I advise you to go to Wigs for Kids. That's all letters, wigsforkids.org, wigsforkids.org, and go to the stylist and salon tab, pull it down, and learn about the two relationships of what's available. And if you tonight or anytime put your emoji, put your comments into our comment box, you will be the first to know in the next couple of weeks of what's coming. And it is one of the biggest things that we've ever put together in over 30 plus years of being in the hair thinning and hair loss business. So please listen to me. Don't miss out. This is a career path that is growing and developing and has an incredible success, both financially, both in giving you back some time and making a transformation in people's lives that gives you the fulfillment of your career and what you do in life and loving it. So I'll see you next Monday. Send us your questions and we'll help you in any possible way, give you the ability to truly know how to grow your business in the hair thinning and loss to transform more lives of those that have been affected, impacted by hair thinning and hair loss. Have a beautiful day, and remember what I always share at the end of each program: beauty and change begins within, and I hope Jesus lives inside there to make that change with you. Have a beautiful day.